Hello Sunshine, this is Joy from Michigan in the United States, and I am going to do a swipe for you today, metallics with a blue swipe over top. I'm going to rearrange things here. I have this video sped up to 2 times the speed because the first 2 swipes failed, so there's your little spoiler alert. So I'm going to swipe with this is Phthalo Blue with some iridescent medium and some silicone and a little bit of white. I didn't want the color to go too deep and look like black, so I added the white to kind of prevent that. I did have metallics. I did not mix them up ahead of time. I wish I had. With the Reeves metallic paints that I purchased, they are very, very thick, and so they need to be mixed up the day before, otherwise they're kind of lumpy. So I'm starting here with some silver. This is Liquitex silver, which I have found I'm not a huge fan of. It's very, very heavy-bodied paint, and it does seem to clump up in my squeeze bottle. So I'm not a huge fan of that. I will probably switch back to the Deco Art silver for that. One of the other things that I had an issue with was I didn't mix up quite enough of each color in the metallics. So that was a real struggle. So this next color is the Reeves Copper, Bronze, and Gold mixed leftover from the previous pour. There wasn't a whole lot of that, so I just wanted to use that one up. And you can tell already there's just not that much paint on this canvas, and I didn't have a ton of colors. I wanted to only do metallics on the base coat and then swipe with the color. So I just didn't have quite enough paint mixed up, but here goes some gold. This is 24 karat gold mixed with a little bit of Venetian gold that I had left over that just needed to be used up. All 3 of those first colors all had silicone mixed into them. Trying to get every last drop out because I knew there wasn't enough. And you could kind of see the silicone sitting on top of the gold there, the little divots in the paint. That's the silicone. I did put more in the gold than I intended to, so it was a lot of silicone. So now I'm going to add the bronze and the copper in the Reeves metallic. They were both a little on the lumpy side. They were not perfectly mixed. Like I said, they really should have sat overnight to really absorb that pouring medium. I also forgot to check the consistency of the bronze, which is what I'm adding here. That was a huge mistake. Always check your consistencies. Make sure that they're all equal. You don't want one paint that's a lot thicker or a lot thinner. You want them to all be about the same. So there's that tip. Here's the bronze, which was quite lumpy. A better choice would have been to go with a completely different pour rather than trying to make this work when I didn't take the time I needed to mix it. I did remember to check the consistency, so at this point I'm adding a little bit of pouring medium to that paint to get it to the right consistency. My pouring medium is a combination of Floetrol and water at a ratio of 1 to 1.5, so 1 part Floetrol, 1.5 parts water. So it's a very thin pouring medium, and I find it works really, really well for me. So this is the last color I have for this canvas, and it's not looking great, guys. That's not much paint for a swipe. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. There is iridescent white, just a little bit I had left over from my beach pour that I did yesterday. I just wanted to use that up, and I don't think there's any silicone in that one either, just straight iridescent white. So now comes the tilting. I probably could have added another color at this point and it would have gone better, but I really wanted to stick with my original plan, which was all metallic paints with a color swipe. So just trying to be gentle with my tilting, but there were so many holes on that canvas. I shouldn't say holes, but blank spots that needed to be covered that I really had to tilt this quite a bit to get that paint to stretch over. And then of course that also means that you're dealing with a very thin coat of paint, which is okay, but with a swipe, not ideal. You don't want to have to overstretch your paint. With a swipe, you end up with more muddied colors and you don't get the distinct one color from the next. So you can see here I've almost got the painting vertical, the canvas vertical, trying to get that paint to stretch all the way over. I do go around and finger pop the edges. You can already see some really big splotches of silicone as well that probably needed to be mixed a little bit more thoroughly. Otherwise you end up with big chunky cells, which if you want that, that's great, but that's not what I was looking for on this painting. So just gonna finger pop all the edges, make sure there's paint covering them. That was a little challenging as well because there wasn't a whole lot of runoff from this painting. So you just make do, and then you can always go back afterward and paint the edges a solid color, or add in this case, the metallics. Just a variety of metallics on the edges would work as well. I had a couple clumps, tried to get those out. Some of them I think were just unmixed paint. So again, I need to take my time and be better prepared for my paintings. This was sort of on a whim. I went out to my art room to do this and hadn't really thought of it up until right before I did it. So that was probably not the best choice either. But regardless, this is where we ended up. On a whim painting. And I had tried to get the lighting just right as I started this, and a storm came up as I was doing this, so the lighting is not the best. I apologize for that. There's that phthalo blue mixed with white and iridescent medium as my swipe color, and I wanted to do this diagonal swipe with the intent of hanging this piece as a diamond rather than a square. The blue, as it went, it really did create a pretty effect, but it wasn't quite what I had in my mind. I lightened the color more than I wanted to, which was hard to see in the cup, but once it was on the painting, I wasn't real thrilled with it. It acted well with the other colors, but it just didn't have the look that I wanted. I wanted more of a dark, moody look, and we ended up with, I don't know, almost a primary blue it looks like. So had a couple areas that I missed. I did have a hard time getting the correct weight on my swipe tool, but that's easy enough to fix with a small piece of plastic or whatever swipe tool you have handy. So now I'm just going to swipe the other side. I do find it's always easiest to rotate the canvas so that I don't have to stretch or reach. I want it to be as easy on me as possible. It's not a super easy process for me yet, so I want to make sure that I'm giving myself every advantage possible, and part of that is making sure the canvas is at an angle that's easy for me to work with. So again, we're seeing those silicone cells pop up, great big ones, because the silicone was still in pretty big blobs within the paint. It probably, if it sat overnight and then was mixed again in the morning, it would have worked much better. And I do have some paints mixed up to try for my next one, so I'll let you guys know if that changes things for me. There's some big chunky cells that I just didn't like, and I'm just trying to break those up a little bit and have less chunks and more smaller cells. I don't know that it did a whole lot, but I attempted that anyway. So this is one I did not intend to balloon. I did not end up even attempting to balloon this particular color. I wasn't real thrilled with it. Still not real thrilled with it looking at the video. It could be much, much better. But it did work as far as getting the cells I wanted and the lacing. I did have some issues on the edges getting the paint to stick. I had bare canvas showing, which tells you I put way too much silicone in my paints. I did have a couple colors that I tried to add a drop or two, and it ended up spilling. So sometimes when you have too much silicone, that silicone will sink all the way down to your canvas, and you'll have bare white canvas showing through in the middle of your painting. So that's what I was trying to fix there. Okay guys, sorry, I thought my camera stopped working for a minute there. All right, the heat's doing absolutely nothing. Or at least it feels like it's doing nothing. I don't know, maybe it brought up some cells there. And this bit of blue here, I'm going to re-swipe, which could be disastrous, but I'm not particularly drawn to this piece right now. So I think swiping again is not going to break my heart. All right, I think I'm gonna leave that. All right, I don't know that I'll try to balloon this one. But I'm gonna let it dry for a little bit either way, and if I come back, then I'll do some balloon work. If you see pictures next, then that means I decided not to balloon it. So thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you haven't already, if you'd hit the subscribe button, that would mean the world to me. And for those of you that have already done that, thank you so much. I will add some pictures of this at the end when I can get it in some better lighting. Again, sorry about the lighting. It's storming here. I came out to the art room and it was sunny and bright and wonderful, and then by the time I had all my supplies ready, it was storming. So that's fairly typical for Michigan. You never know what the weather's gonna do. So, all right guys, I will see you on the next one. All right, friends, I am back with you. I just wasn't happy with the color of blue. So I threw on some phthalo blue, just phthalo blue, nothing else with it. And I'm gonna reswipe. I didn't love this one, so if this completely destroys it, I'm not heartbroken, I guess. Maybe I should be, but I'm not. So here goes nothing. No silicone, no nothing in this blue, just phthalo blue, and I'm already loving it so much more, so hopefully that continues as I go. I am getting some green, and the green is because my phthalo blue plus gold equals green. Right here, let's just do, oh, not happy with that one at all. Let's see if I can fix this. There, that's better. Okay, moving on. And then I'm sure have some of that lighter blue peeking through as well, which is absolutely fine. You know, my gut said just do phthalo blue. Excuse me. And I thought, no, it's not gonna show up enough. It's gonna look like black. So I added the iridescent medium, and then it still wasn't quite what I thought I wanted. So then I added the white, and guess what? That was a mistake. I should have left it. All right, let me spin this baby around. Sorry if you liked it before and you don't like it now. I'm having a real challenge with this table. It is just so messy. Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm not in frame. That's a little better. My canvas is slightly bigger than the viewing area, whatever you would call that. All right, here we go. It's interesting that it's not wanting to flow over the edges at all. So my mantra, I've said, has been try again, and my goodness, do I ever live up to that. It's rare that I create a painting that I'm happy with right away. This section right here. All right. Oh, I don't know, guys. Hopefully this speaks to someone. I'm getting to a point where I have so many canvases that I really don't know what to do with them. Oh, darn it. I did wipe off, but it clearly still had a lot of bronze paint on it. Try again. Okay. All right, let me hit that with some heat. feel like my heat's not doing much of anything. All right, if you're happy with this as it is, look away. Look away. And I just can't get the paint to flow over the edges, which is kind of odd. How many times can you swipe before you have mud? I'm gonna find out. I don't know, guys. I'm not loving this one, but I'm also really tired. So I'm not going to attempt to change it. I'm going to let it be. I'm going to live with it for a bit. Oh, I just ran my thumb across that. Right there we have some not nice stuff going on. My edges are gloopy. I don't know, guys. I'm probably just not in the right mood to be in my art room right now. I don't think I will even attempt to balloon this one. I don't think it would bring anything up. I'm almost tempted to stretch it because it just hasn't, I don't know that there's enough weight to do what I need it to do right here. There's like this gold line on the edge here that the blue just doesn't want to push past, and I don't know why that is. And it's not just there, it's on like every edge, I may just end up stretching this too far and ruining it, and I don't want to do that either, but why is this blue not going over the edge? I'm sure it's at least in part the way that I swiped. Now, if I watch my video, which I don't always do because some of them are very long, I'm very chatty and very slow. So I apologize for that. You guys probably, some of my videos are kind of boring, but thanks for hanging with me and watching what crazy idea I come up with next. I hate this. I think I've ruined it, guys. The paint is just, it's not moving, and so now I'm getting wonky lines. Oh, I can never quit soon enough. All right, I'm gonna think for a minute. What can I do with this? What can I do? The sun is out and it's raining, which means I should have a rainbow, but I don't see one. All right, guys, I have made a real mess of this. All right, we are just going to go crazy. I am going to add, what's the worst that can happen, right? Scary stuff. Okay, this is a, oh my goodness, that was so much more than I intended to pour, and now nothing's coming out. The squeeze bottles are so much better for me, but that's okay. It's all okay. Just gonna dump some colors on. Let's see, what do we have? How about this pink with silicone in it? You know, I probably don't need very much of this because there's already a ton of silicone. And then I'll use that. Bright and colorful is what I'm going for. I would like to add some white to this, but I think I'm just about out of white. I cannot believe how sunny it is with the rain coming down right now, guys. But every time I look for a rainbow, I can't find one, so. Oh. Pig's breakfast, that's what we're making. Let's throw a little violet in there. Oh goodness, apparently I'm out of violet. All right. Let's see if that's enough to tilt around. Oh yes, it's moving nicely. Just mix and mingle with the other paints. And then I've got to figure out, oh, I'll do a berry swipe. That's what I'll use for my swipe color. My black cherry. I've got the squiggliest lines. This is the I just don't care anymore version of painting. I just don't care. All right. Do I do a center swipe or do I do straight from one edge to the other? Let's do center. Black cherry is red plus phthalo blue plus black and silicone, of course. It's a custom color. I will probably use, I have this fantastic new color I just got, crimson. And it is, I just love this color. It's a little bit thinner than I expected it to be, but as with any brand, every color has a different thickness, a different density. I'm getting paint all over me, guys. Oh, goodness. I gotta clean my table after this swipe. Oh, the cap didn't want to come off. Okay, black cherry swipe. Here we go. Oh, it's gotten, I hope those are air bubbles. I'm gonna tell myself it's air bubbles. All right, guys, here we go. I'm gonna start here. Oh, wow. That's a good oh, wow. Oh my goodness, guys. Look at those colors. Wow. Who knew? It's the I don't care method to the rescue. All right. The most silicone covered painting you ever did see, though. Lots and lots of silicone in this one. Okay. Although all the colors that I added, well, the turquoise, I guess, probably had some silicone in it. I was going to say those were all silicone free, but that's not true. So I had my husband come out and look at the metallic with blue, so I'll have to call him out to see this one, and I don't know what he'll think of this. What a difference. What a difference a day makes. Somebody's out doing yard work in the rain. Although I guess the rain's letting up. You guys, I was talking about where's my rainbow. Guess what? Here it is. I took a little bit too much paint off right there. All right, I'm just gonna leave that even though it's not what I wanted. Just that corner. All right, guys. This is so much better. So much happier with this than what I had originally. So different than what I had in my mind, but better. So I'm just trying to get my edges to match the front a little bit. This side is actually not bad. edges are a little muddy, but I'd rather have muddy edges than a muddy front, so I'm gonna let that slide. Again, I have this, I'm just gonna, that edge, I must have put my swipe tool down a little too hard on the canvas there because there's like a defined lip. All right. And I'm sorry, the lighting has become even worse because now the sun's coming through that window so bright. Oh goodness. Is that better? Got a little less shadow that way. Okay, let's add some heat. Let's see what that does. All right, proving yet again, the try again method works. I am happy with this one. I don't know that I'll do anything further. I will get my husband's opinion and see what he thinks, but I think I like it just as it is. And I imagine as it dries, it will probably have a bit of a sheen to it because of all the metallic underneath. So hopefully that will shine through in the end. Just trying to pull some of that down over the edges here. All right, guys, I will take you in for a close-up. Thank you guys so much. I know my videos get long and they change and they're never what I expect, or very rarely are they what I expect. But this one sure did turn out pretty. I'm happy with this one. And that's it. I'm happy with this one. All right, guys. I will see you on the next one, and hopefully my art room, my art table will be much, much cleaner because I've now stained one more outfit with paint. So, and that's because my table is such a big mess right now. So, all right, guys, see you on the next one.